Have you ever been in a relationship where you feel loved but also deeply confused? Your partner tells you they care about you, they might show affection, they might even say that they cannot imagine life without you. But at the same time, they avoid serious conversations. They struggle to handle conflict, and sometimes their reaction feels surprisingly childlike or emotionally overwhelming. This creates a very painful emotional question. If they love me, or does the relationship still feel so difficult? The truth is something many people don't realize. Love and emotional maturity are not the same thing. A person can genuinely love you and still lack the emotional skills required to maintain a healthy relationship. So, in psychology, emotional maturity involves self awareness, emotional regulation, empathy, accountability, and the ability to handle conflict without damaging the relationship. So, when someone hasn't developed these skills yet, the relationship can feel like a mix of warmth and emotional chores at the same time. So, in today's video, we are going to explore the subtle but powerful signs that your partner may truly love you but still be emotionally immature. And people often confuse it, and they feel that this is something that this is not true love, and if my partner doesn't love me, these things, and that is why their relationship is a struggling. And understanding these signs can completely change how you see your relationship. So, understanding immaturity in relationships, I would say, like, before we explore the signs, we need to understand something important. And emotional immaturity does not automatically mean someone is toxic or manipulative. In many cases, emotional immaturity develops because of childhood environments and where emotions were not expressed safely, and a lack of emotional education, growing up, and unresolved trauma, fear of vulnerability, or simply never learning healthy communication, or even when they needed someone, that person wasn't there, so empathy wasn't developed, and these things. Okay, so this means a person may have genuine love in their heart but not the emotional tools to express that love in healthy ways. um there were some people who are not that much expressive, so and they can't tell the other person what they're feeling, and also until and unless you don't have that connection. So it other there is social media and everything, wherever you would see it, not every sign, or not every thing sign, or whatever you say, because symptoms are not in any relationship. So whatever signs you would feel like, okay, this person is meeting the criteria, but not 10 by 10 signs will be there. Okay, so that's not necessary. It varies from person to person, from case to case, from relationship, and nature of the relationship too. Okay. um so, and this creates a relationship dynamic that feels deeply confusing. So you see moments of tenderness, but you also experience moments of emotional shutdown and defensiveness and avoidance. And understanding this difference is crucial, and because it keeps you see the relationship with clarity instead of constant self-blame. So let's talk about the most common signs. So, sign number one is they love you but struggle with difficult conversations. Emotionally immature partners often avoid conversations that involve uncomfortable emotions, and if you bring up something that hurts you, they may change the subject, become defensive, and shut down emotionally, or say things like, "Why are you making this a big deal?" And here is the confusing part. Outside of those conversations, they may still show affection and care, and they might hug you, they might say they love you, but when emotional depth is required they retreat. And this happens because emotionally immature people often see conflict as a threat rather than an opportunity for growth. And they were never taught that healthy relationships require honest emotional dialogue. So, sign number two is their action and words often don't match. Another sign is inconsistency. Your partner may say things like, I love you, or you mean everything to me, but like I want this relationship, but their behavior sometimes tells a different story. So their behavior sometimes tells a different story, like I have said. So they might cancel important plans, forget commitments, and avoid emotional responsibilities or behave selfishly during conflicts. And this doesn't always mean their love is fake, but instead it often means that their emotional development hasn't caught up with their feelings. They feel love, but they don't always know how to translate love into consistent behavior. So they struggle to take, the sign number three is they struggle to take accountability. One of the biggest indicators of emotional maturity is the ability to say, I was wrong. You know, emotionally mature partners struggle deeply with this. When conflicts happen, they may blame circumstances, blame stress, blame misunderstandings, or sometimes even blame you. Apologizing requires emotional awareness and humility. And for someone who hasn't developed those skills, taking responsibility can feel like losing control or losing pride. But without accountability, conflicts never truly resolve and they only repeat. Now, sign number four is they react emotionally instead of responding thoughtfully. So emotionally mature people can pause before reacting, and emotionally immature individuals often react immediately. And during arguments, they may raise their voice quickly, become overwhelmed, and say hurtful things they later regret or withdraw completely. These reactions are not always intentional harm, but they are signs that person never learned healthy emotional regulation. So their emotions control them instead of the other way around. Now, sign number five, they want love but fear emotional vulnerability. So, one of the deepest contradictions in an emotionally immature partner is this: they crave love, but they are afraid of emotional exposures. So, when conversations become emotionally deep, they may suddenly joke to change the subject, become distant, and minimize the conversations or emotionally withdraw. And this isn't because they don't care. Often it's because vulnerability feels unsafe or unfamiliar, and emotional immaturity requires learning that vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. Now, sign number six, they depend on you for emotional stability. Another subtle sign is emotional dependency. Your partner may rely heavily on you to regulate their emotions. When they feel stressed or insecure, they turn to you for reassurance. But when you need support, they may struggle to provide the same emotional presence, and this creates an imbalanced emotional dynamic where one partner becomes emotional caretaker, and over time this can lead to emotional exhaustion. Now sign number seven is the struggle with long-term relationships skills. Sorry, emotional immature partners often focus on the feeling of love rather than the work of love. Now this is an important part. Okay, healthy relationships require communication, patience, compromise, emotional responsibility, and growth. And emotional responsibility is very necessary. Compromise is very necessary. Patience and communication is very, very necessary. Okay, communication can resolve a lot of conflicts. Okay, you don't have to rely on other people and don't trust them. The other person can destroy your relationship. The third person or the third party, they can create misunderstandings among you. And if you guys have lack of communication, and if you guys trust a third person rather than trusting your partner, then definitely your relationship will struggle. And if you have lack of patience and you have aggressive issues, aggressive tendencies are present in yourself, then definitely your relationship will also struggle, because only one person has to make the compromise. So if the person is making compromises, so it should be on both sides, okay? And everyone has to be emotionally available in the relationship. If only one person is always available for you, one person is making the compromises, is patient and trying to communicate with the other person, but the other person is closed the doors of those things exist, that means that it's a one-sided relationship, and the other person is doing whatever they want to do, but that the other person on their side that is struggling a lot. So emotionally mature individuals may expect the relationship to remain easy and effortless, and when challenges appear, they feel overwhelmed, but every lasting relationship requires emotional growth from both partners. So now, why this situation feels so confusing? The reason is that these relationships feel so emotionally complicated is because of love is present, but stability is inconsistent. They experience a beautiful moments where connection feels real, but those moments are interrupted by emotional patterns that create pain and confusion. And this can lead people to constantly ask themselves, am I expecting too much? And often the real issue is not realistic expectations, and there is a difference between emotional love and emotional immaturity. If you guys aren't aware about emotional love and all of these things, I'll make a video for you too. Emotions are really necessary, okay? And to regulate them and how you regulate them, that is also necessary. So, can emotionally immature partners change? The answer is yes. The only certain but only under certain conditions. Growth happens when a person becomes self-aware and generally wants to develop healthy emotional skills. Okay, even in therapy too, if a person who wants to change themselves, the therapy will be effective in them. But if we have that person who doesn't want to change and who is very reluctant and very resistant, so then it is difficult, okay? Because whatever you yourself want to do, you would be able to do that. But if you don't want to do something, forcing and those things that won't exist at all. Whether it's a relationship, it's your workplace, it's regarding your education, it's regarding anything. So, this may involve learning communication skills, reflecting on past patterns, developing emotional regulation, sometimes even therapy. But emotional maturity cannot be forced by partner. It must come from individuals' willingness to grow. Now, like I have said earlier, I just want to say, add on one, 2 points there. You know, uh, a person's shaped by their experiences that they had, okay? So your experiences matter a lot, like how you are behaving, what you are doing, and everything, what you have seen, and how the world has shaped you, and what environment was given to you, and your upbringing, your parenting, your the whether the person or parents were emotionally available for you. Was there any bullying scene where there was those experiences where you didn't had freedom of speech? So those things matters a lot. So if you recognize these signs in your relationship, it doesn't automatically mean your partner doesn't love you. Sometimes the truth is more complicated. They may love you deeply, but love alone is not enough to sustain a healthy relationship. Healthy love requires emotional awareness, responsibility, and growth. The most important thing to remember is a relationship should not only make you feel loved, but it should also make you feel emotionally safe, respected, and understood. But real love is not just about how strongly someone feels about you, it is about how responsibly they handle your heart, okay? So this means a lot, okay? So thank you so much for watching today's video. If you guys like it, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and share it with other friends too. And don't forget to comment me below. I'll keep on making more videos for you people. Thank you so much for staying with us today. See you soon in the next video. Till then, take care. Goodbye.